A daughter lies in a hospital bed, her life hanging by a thread after a car accident. But when the room falls silent and no one's around, her own mother walks up, eyes cold, and pulls the oxygen tube from her daughter's nose, killing her without hesitation. The cruel mother never imagined that her daughter, Yizhu, would return from death itself, reborn exactly 1 year earlier. In this new life, she's no longer the timid, obedient girl who once bowed her head to everyone. This time she would plan carefully, step by step, to destroy everyone who ever hurt her. Living in a foster family, Yizhu had always learned to survive by reading people's faces, constantly giving in to her younger sister and obeying every word from her mother. Even after marriage, she was treated like a servant in her husband's home. When she accidentally cut her finger, her mother-in-law only mocked her coldly. Her mother owned an art gallery, and because Yizhu was talented at painting, she was forced to make fake reproductions of famous artworks which her mother sold for profit. But fake paintings never stay hidden for long. The scam was soon exposed in public, and her mother, desperate to escape punishment, immediately betrayed Yizhu, naming her as the culprit and clearing herself completely. When Yizhu tried to defend herself, the city mayor produced evidence that she was the one who forged the painting. Watching her mother's fake tears and performance, Yizhu finally understood. Her mother had planned this from the start. If things went wrong, Yizhu was always meant to be the scapegoat. But what broke her even more was her husband. Instead of defending her, the man who once promised love was comforting her younger sister Yura. Because all along, he loved Yura, not Yizhu. He only married Yizhu to stay close to her sister. Yura, cunning and manipulative, knew her brother-in-law's feelings but thought he was too weak, so she never responded to him. In her heart, the two siblings were both pathetic fools. And when Yizhu overheard their conversation, her world shattered completely. Screaming and crying, she jumped into her car, racing through the streets toward her mother's art gallery, stomping the gas as tears blurred her vision. The phone rang. It was her mother again. Not to comfort her, but to order her to turn herself in to protect the family's reputation. Broken beyond repair, Yizhu lost control and crashed. She survived after emergency rescue, but when she woke, her mother pulled out her oxygen tube again, finishing the job to erase all evidence. Yizhu's world faded into darkness as memories of betrayal flooded her mind, her mother's cruelty, her sister's deceit, her husband's lies. But at that very moment, something miraculous happened. She opened her eyes and realized she had returned to 1 year earlier. She hadn't married yet, and it was the exact day she was supposed to try on her wedding dress with that same worthless man. The store, the staff, even the flattering words were identical. She remembered cutting her wrist accidentally that day, and when she looked down and saw the same wound reappear, she knew it was real. She had truly been reborn. The clerk praised her shoulder line, saying if the dress dipped lower, it'd look even better. Yes, Mom said the same, Yizhu replied. But hearing the word Mom triggered memories of that monstrous woman and her last cold words. Don't be too kind. Rage filled her heart. Her first act in this new life was to rip off her fake, gentle mask. She turned around, walked up to her fiancé, and coldly threw away her bouquet. Pulling out the dress pin, she stabbed the wedding gown with it, then slammed the bouquet into her fiancé's face before anyone could react. Everyone froze. The once gentle girl now radiated fury. The man grabbed her arm, shocked and speechless, asking where she was going, but Yizhu's sharp eyes made him fall silent. She left without a glance. Meanwhile, his mother was trying on her new dress, thrilled about the marriage because her family's business had gone bankrupt. Only Yizhu's family could save them. If this wedding failed, her son's life would collapse. But Yizhu returned home, still in her gown, and told her mother she wanted to cancel the marriage. Her mother didn't care. She barely looked at her, treating her like air as always. The old Yizhu would have accepted that silently, but not anymore. When her mother saw her defiant face, she was stunned. Then her fiancé and Yura arrived, the man nervously explaining that it was all a misunderstanding, that he'd just been too busy to care for Yizhu and only wanted to delay the wedding. Yizhu, now dressed in new clothes, cut him off sharply. Her mother thought they were just having a lover's quarrel and impatiently kicked both of them out of the house. The man begged Yizhu outside, swearing that he only loved her and not Yura, but Yizhu wasn't fooled. Then his mother called her and he panicked, begging her not to tell his mother about the breakup. Yizhu, remembering that evil woman's smug face, hung up without saying a word. Desperate, he knelt before her, begging forgiveness, promising to obey her after marriage and give her everything she wanted. Seeing the man who once betrayed her kneeling now felt almost amusing, but she would never forgive him. He stared, stunned, not even understanding what he did wrong, as if he'd just been sentenced to death. When Yizhu returned home, she overheard her sister whispering to their mother, urging her to let her marry Shu Daobo quickly, while Yizhu's engagement was still falling apart. Yura Yura's marriage wasn't just for business. She truly loved that man. Yiju smiled quietly, her mind already forming the perfect revenge plan. Just like before, her manipulative foster mother was already using her heartbreak as another pawn for her own schemes. But this time, Yiju was ready. Soon after, her foster mother quickly arranged a blind date for her younger daughter Yura with the second heir of the Taizi group, Shu Daobo. But Yiju, having already learned of the plan, decided to strike first. She appeared before Shu Daobo herself, boldly and without hesitation. She didn't hide her intentions at all, directly confessing that she had come to approach her sister's admirer. Her straightforward words stunned Shu Daobo, catching him completely off guard, but also piquing his interest. With a faint smirk, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a hotel keycard. Yiju instantly understood what he meant, and before he could take it back, Yura suddenly arrived and froze upon seeing them together. Shu Daobo was surprised too, wondering why Yiju was there. To provoke Yura deliberately, Yiju snatched the keycard, saying the two of them had things to do, and allowed Shu Daobo to put his arm around her as they walked away. Yura could only stand there, humiliated, realizing she was the clown in this game. But despite her confident front, Yiju's heart was pounding with fear as she followed Shu Daobo down the corridor. When they entered the room, that it was actually his office, not a hotel room. Then a message from Yura appeared on his phone. She said she'd wait downstairs until he came out. Seizing the chance to continue her revenge plan, Yiju kept her composure, sitting across from Shu Daobo and starting a long, calm conversation under the pretense of business. When she didn't return home that night, Yura went mad with jealousy and ran home crying to their mother. So when Yiju finally returned, her foster mother locked her up, mocking her arrogance and foolishness. The very next moment, the powerful CEO himself appeared at their door, publicly asking for Yiju's hand in marriage. Shu Daobo's firm tone even surprised Yiju. They had only met once, yet his determination was real. Watching the two wicked women lose their composure filled her with deep satisfaction. Because of Shu's family's influence, even her adoptive father had no choice but to agree. Still, Yiju didn't want to deceive Shu Daobo. Her kind heart wouldn't allow it, so she told him the truth, that she had approached him for revenge. But instead of rejecting her, Shu Daobo smiled and said that was exactly the answer he wanted to hear. Yiju had intended to ask him for help using sincerity, but her honesty touched him deeply, and before long, he fell for her. He even proposed romantically, using a flower as his excuse to confess. The man who once belonged to her sister was now her fiancé, and Shu Daobo became her most loyal ally on her road to revenge. Yet despite his clear intentions, her malicious mother and Yura could not accept losing the position of future CEO's wife. During a tense family dinner, Yura's parents proudly talked about her achievements and future engagement, but when they turned to Yiju, asking her about her plans and career, she simply stared, the awkward silence heavy. Unable to endure the humiliation, Yura left the table without eating. Seeing her daughter's tears, the evil foster mother promised to make sure Yiju would never get what she wanted, vowing to take care of everything. The very next day, the ex-fiancé's mother came to see Yiju, begging her not to break off the engagement. But when Yiju stood firm, the woman exploded, grabbing her hair, screaming insults, and even throwing herself to the ground to fake being assaulted. Crowds gathered, gossip spreading fast as she tried to ruin Yiju's reputation, hoping to destroy her marriage. The ex-fiancé's sister joined in too, twisting the truth to paint Yiju as the villain. Watching their performance, Yiju instantly realized it was all another scheme by her foster mother. But this time, fate took her side. The mayor happened to capture everything on camera. With one cold sentence and a small performance fee, he dismissed the two liars. Shaken but determined, Yiju remembered all the humiliation and betrayal from her previous life. Her heart burning with hatred, she swore to continue her revenge and rewrite her cursed destiny. In her last life, the root of her ruin and even her death was the fake painting she created for her foster mother. So this time, she would use that same painting to drag the woman straight into hell. After days of sleepless work, Yiju once again painted a plum blossom piece so perfect that even experts couldn't tell it was fake. The greedy foster mother's eyes lit up instantly and, overjoyed, ordered the painting moved to her studio. Facing her mother's threats, Yiju didn't argue. Instead, she pretended to agree and speak softly, just to lower her guard for the final strike. One day, during a cooking class, Yiju unexpectedly met Shu Daobo's mother, who invited her for afternoon tea. When they arrived at the cafe, they found Yura already waiting there. Shu's mother had clearly known that both sisters were vying for her son and had set up this encounter deliberately. Trying to leave a good impression, Yura acted sweet and polite, light, preparing tea, pretending to care for her sister, putting on a perfect show of sisterly love. But Yiju wasn't playing along. She didn't even fake a smile. Shu's mother stayed calm, saying she wouldn't interfere in family matters, but her next words chilled Yiju's heart. She openly stated that her son would only marry a woman of equal status. As a foster daughter, Yiju's background would never match Yura's, and she should step back. Before Yiju could respond, Shu Daobo suddenly appeared. His mother accused Yiju of calling him there, but Yiju quickly denied it, saying she didn't want to cause conflict between them. Shu's mother countered sharply, reminding her that she herself had once been far more capable than her husband's father, and implying that Yiju, as a lowly foster child, couldn't possibly understand her. Yiju hesitated, but then spoke honestly, admitting that her past relationship had destroyed her faith in love until she met Shu Daobo. Surprised by her candor and composure, Shu's mother found herself unexpectedly impressed. Yiju's heartfelt yet graceful reply revealed her sincerity toward Shu Daobo, while also showing wisdom and self-respect. And it was that rare honesty that slowly began to win over even the sharpest heart in the room. As Yiju's sincere honesty made Shu's mother quietly reevaluate her, Yura immediately tried to please her future mother-in-law by offering a carefully prepared gift. Later, both sisters returned to Shu Daobo's house and shared a few beers. Because Yiju had a very low tolerance, she ended up staying the night. The next morning, as she woke up, Shu's mother suddenly entered the room, but seeing her son peacefully asleep beside Yiju, a man who had suffered from insomnia for years, she was stunned. Realizing her son could finally rest with this woman near him, she felt a rare sense of peace and decided on the spot to have Yiju's family formally visited for marriage talks. This meant complete acceptance. For the sake of a powerful business alliance, Yiju's adoptive father quickly agreed, leaving the cruel mother and Yura completely dumbfounded. On the day the two families met, the foster mother arrived determined to ruin the meeting and immediately began nitpicking, her arrogance boundless, only to ensure that her eventual fall would be harder. Wanting to impress Shu's elders, Yiju presented a painting she had personally created as a gift. The moment the foster mother saw it, her face turned pale. It was the very fake painting she had secretly sold long ago for profit. Now that it was back in Yiju's hands, she panicked and called Yiju outside. "Are you crazy? Do you really want to go against me?" she hissed. "Yes," Yiju replied coldly. "I am crazy." She had already bought the fake back from the buyer and held proof of all her foster mother's fraudulent dealings. This time, she would never be the scapegoat again. She would strike first and make her pay. Terrified of prison, the woman could only obey as Yiju warned. "Before midnight tonight, stay away from me." But Yura, furious and desperate, went to Shu Daobo to try to seduce him, holding out a room key and whispering, "A man understands me better than my sister ever could." Shu Daobo, whose heart belonged only to Yiju, ignored her and stood to leave, but Yura then pulled out photos of Yiju with her ex-fiancé and accused her of being unfaithful. Exposed and humiliated, Yura lost all dignity as Shu Daobo warned her coldly to stop. Broken and rejected, she spiraled into despair. When her mother came later with water, she found that Yura had taken her own life. On the wedding day meant for Yiju, her dead sister appeared before everyone, dressed in an even more deadly crime. The weight of that revelation shattered every restraint, and though their marriage began as a deal, Shu Daobo had truly fallen for her and vowed to help her seek vengeance. "Help me?" she lowly, destroying her peace by foster mother, unaware of the coming storm. Yiju's ex-lover, Shihi, appeared to protect her. He had always loved Yura, marrying Yiju in their past life only to stay near her sister. Yiju had been nothing but a pawn, now abandoned by both other over drinks, seeking comfort. But by morning, Yura wanted nothing more to do with him. Dreaming still of marrying rich, she dismissed the poor man as a mistake, feeling that Shu Daobo and his elder brother Shu Jengshu were bitter rivals. A new, dangerous idea sparked in her mind. That day, when Yiju returned home for the first family visit, trembling with jealousy, she screamed at her mother, declaring that if she couldn't rise above Yiju, she might as well crush her. Yura's mind was already made up. Not long after, when Yiju and they learned that Shu Zheng, for a moment, the entire room fell silent. Yura smiled faintly, as if proud of her twisted triumph, and Yiju could only stand frozen, sacrifice everything, including her dignity, just to strike back at her.